Hi there, it's Ben McAdam from profitscollective.com, and in this video I want to talk to you about oiling the marketing delivery seesaw. So the marketing and delivery seesaw, for those of you who don't know, is a concept that's been around the internet for a little while, to be honest. I'm not even sure where it's from. Somebody let me know in the comments. So I taught my client about that on a one-on-one call just now, and then I extended the idea and I wanted to share that with you. Sorry you can't see my face. I've been a little ill and I look like crap, so I thought I'd save you that. All right, so let's have a look now. I'll share the screen with you and I'll walk you through the marketing delivery seesaw idea and then my version of it. Now, most of us as kids have been on a seesaw, so we know how these things work. Ideally, you have someone of equal weight on either side, and then you can use your feet to push upwards, and the other person comes down, and then they push upwards, and it's fun. And sometimes, if you're really clever, you can get it to balance exactly. So, seesaw. We're all on the same page. So the marketing and delivery seesaw. You will have on this side is marketing and this side is delivery. So marketing is about bringing new clients in and delivery is about doing the work for them. And the reason why it's a bit of a seesaw is that you'll spend a while doing marketing and then you've got a lot of work. So you focus completely on doing the work. And then that side of the seesaw comes down or goes up, whichever direction you want to go. Whatever it is, it takes the seesaw out of balance as you focus purely on delivery. And then because you're so focused on delivery, suddenly when it comes time to do some marketing again, or suddenly when it comes time where you run out of work, there's no more delivery to do, the marketing side has been ignored. So that's why it's a bit of a seesaw for some people, where they find that they can't do both at the same time, and so they have to change their focus from one to the other, and then they're constantly on this swinging seesaw. That's not the fun kind. So that's the idea of the marketing delivery seesaw. And a couple of the things I was talking to my client about today is that the seesaw will seesaw. You can't, for much of the parts of your business, it's impossible to have both of them level. That's why I drew this seesaw not entirely level. And it's not because I can't draw today. No. It's just because of this. So it will constantly, you will have to shift your focus from one to the other. It's ridiculously hard to keep them perfectly level. As you later get a team, even, and you don't have to put your focus on these things, they're still going to seesaw, because nobody has a constant level of success in their role. So whoever's running your marketing for you is not going to have a constant level of success, and that constant level is definitely not going to be exactly the same as your delivery team. So there's always going to be some swinging in it. So that's okay. That's realization number one, is that there always will be a little swing. Point number two, we want a little swing. A line under the word little, because if, say for example, I'll do another one here where you've got marketing crashing down. The problem is if marketing side of it, for example, comes down really fast, then this marketing person, this imaginary person on your seesaw, is going to fall off. And then the next stage is the seesaw goes back down the other way, as the delivery person comes crashing down and they fall off and your business falls apart. So we want little swings, and we don't want to focus exclusively on one side, because that will ruin things with the other. So we want to make sure it's little swings. So point number one, it's going to swing. Point number two, we want it to be little swings. And then the third point that I was sharing with my client was that this seesaw actually levitates. As your business goes better and does better, the seesaw goes higher and higher in the air. If you're focusing purely on the swings back and forth, you can feel like you're in a bit of a mouse wheel, just kind of going around and around and around and not actually getting anywhere. Or putting out a fire over here in marketing and then having to go put out a fire over there in delivery. And it can be really demoralizing to be involved in that kind of thing. So the fact that this seesaw levitates, occasionally you do have to look down at the ground and see how far you've come. Not just look at, oh, How's the other side of the seesaw doing? I better rush over there and do something. So your sense of progress won't be how stable this seesaw is, because remember point number 1, it does swing. Your sense of progress will be how high the seesaw is going. So that was point number 3. And point number 4, I wanted to talk about this point here in the middle, the fulcrum or the pivot point, whatever you want to call it, the bit in the middle that stays still but allows the seesaw to move. That piece in the middle there is pretty important, and that's I've not heard anybody talk about this idea. We want to talk about oiling the marketing delivery seesaw, the topic of this video. And the oil in there, what is the function of the oil in a seesaw? It allows the seesaw to move smoothly without horrible squeaking sounds. It allows it to actually swing. Remember point 1, the seesaw swings. We want it to swing. We also want little swings. We don't want the seesaw to snap in half because you're trying to swing it and it won't work. So having some oil in there is pretty important just for seesaws in general. Now for your marketing delivery seesaw, you want it to be able to swing. And the thing that allows you to do that is a few different things. There is a savings buffer. The reason why a savings buffer is helpful is because you don't have to get billable client work done in order to pay your bills. You can instead focus on marketing for a little while, and you can do a lot of good work on marketing knowing that you have a savings buffer in place. You don't have to get billable work out for a while. And this is really important because as you get bigger, there are some projects that with your marketing that you'll need a big block of time for. And you'll need a brain free of client work in order to do, like potentially hiring a marketing person and training them. You need enough of a savings buffer there so that you don't have to do billable client work. So another thing, so that's the oil is a savings buffer. The other thing is cash flow. Having recurring projects coming in means that you don't need to focus on the marketing so much. It means you can focus a bit more on delivery and the money's still coming in. You can still pay your bills. And then the third point of what the oil in the seesaw is your margins. There's going to be a separate video about that. It's part of my 6-week course. It's a big part of the profitability of your business. The 80-20 of profitability is getting this right. It's the difference between what you charge your clients and what it costs you to do the thing they paid you for. So none of your overheads. They didn't pay you to have an office. They paid you to deliver a service or a product. Getting that right means that you can do this swing between marketing and delivery. You've got a little buffer there as well. You've got a savings buffer. Will automatically build up. It gives you that little extra time. You can focus on marketing without always having to be doing client work. So, oiling the marketing delivery seesaw. I've talked about what the marketing delivery seesaw is and the fact that it levitates. And there's some oil in it in the center, and it's important to keep an eye on that. It's having a savings buffer, having cash flow, and keeping an eye on your margins. So that's the marketing delivery seesaw and the types of oil that it needs and what you need to oil it with. This is Ben from profitscollective.com. A question for you. Let me know in the comments below. How well oiled is your seesaw? And which particular type of oil do you think you need to work on next? Is it a buffer? Is it cash flow, like recurring work? Or is it your margins? Let me know. Love to hear from you. Thanks for watching.